Pacta placent. Pacta means pact or plan, and it is plural, but probably singular makes more sense. The plan is pleasing or the plans are pleasing. This is a really cool piece where we start with the light and we end with the night. So the light, and remember this is going to mean seemed, having seemed, technically it's a perfect passive participle. So having seemed to depart slowly, it is hurled in the water, and from, so we're going light into the water, and then from the same water, exact same word, the night came out, and then ab istem, that's where we get the same, so we know for sure it's the same water. Actually, yeah. All right, and then we've got Thisbe as our subject, and this great hyperbaton here. So a couple of things there. It could indicate that maybe she's not as clever as we might want her to be because of the separation there. Anyway, so we've got clever Thisbe, per tenebras, we have an ablative absolute, and then we find out what she's doing. So this could be considered enjambment. We'll talk more about that later, but we're like, what's going on? Oh, she's leaving. And she deceives her own family, so by that. And then we've got this perfect passive participle describing Thisbe. And it literally means having been covered. And this is our accusative of respect. So she's been covered with respect to her face. The looser translation would be like having covered her face, which is totally acceptable, just a little bit different. So having been covered with respect to her face. Another enjambment, where we're finally getting our verb. She arrives at the tomb and she sits sub arbore dicta. All right, and then we got this word first. This is the most important. Bold, love, vakivat. And then the lioness appears. So we've got wainit, our verb first, eke, behold or look. Recenti is going to go with kaide. This is going to mean from a recent slaughter. And then we finally find out who's come from a recent slaughter. Like, is it Pyramus? No, it's a lioness. So from a recent slaughter of cattle, so those are connected there. So the lioness comes, and then we have another participle, oblita, which means having been smeared, and then we have another accusative of respect. So having been smeared with respect to her foaming jaws. Alternatively, you might want to say something like with her jaws, her foaming jaws smeared, something like that. All right, and then we have a rare future active participle. How exciting! Describing the lioness. Sitim is our direct object, and then in unda tells us where she's depositura, and then these two go together in a genitive. Here we start with our linking qui. This is going back to the lioness. This is going to be our direct object, and then we have Babylonian Thisbe serving as our subject, so that you can see that they're pretty far apart, and that's what we see with this word procul too, is so far off. We have our enjambment here, where Babylonian Thisbe, saw her far off, and then all this going together. And she fugit in antrum, and then this obscurum creates a great chiasmus, where we have timido and pede going together, and indicating that she has fled into this obscurum antrum. The timido pede would be an ablative, so we'll say with her timid foot. And then we have and jumping in front. While she fled, she reliquit, she left behind her lamina. And this is going to be a perfect active participle, from a deponent verb, so having slipped, ablative separation from her back. Our ut here is going to be translated as, because we have an indicative verb. So as she compescuit, this is again, the lioness, so we have a new subject, Siwa lioness. As she compescuited her situm, multa unda, or long A's. So they're ablative. You can tell this by looking here in the book. We're actually scanning the line. So maybe supply like an in or with after that. And we have while she read it in Silvas. And then this is the big action here. So she, again, the lioness, mangled the tenues amictus. But then this word inventus goes with the mictus. It's significant that it's first and followed shortly or right after by this word by chance. So having been found by chance, indicating that this was very incidental, not a planned event. Sine ipse, without her being without Thisbe. And then we have ore cruentato going together. So these are ablative, maybe in or with, or ore cruentato tells us how she's mangled the cloak.